Hello, fully evolved spiritual beings. I hope you guys are having a good day. We're starting off with a great morning. It's a beautiful time to be alive. And I like talking when I'm doing things because you're actually in a flow mode, right? Which flow mode means if you're not in the business world or everybody interested, magicians, artists, when they're just in flow mode, they don't think about it. It's coming from the heart. Time passes when you're having fun, right? So I wanted to make a short video, as I mentioned, about smaller things, breaking it down of how I got to this point, how you will get to this point, because it's your divine birthright. There ain't nothing special about anybody or anything. There's no difference in you to the Pope, or multimillionaire, or you and the homeless person across the street. As you'll hear me in my videos, I'll be very repetitive of what I talk about at certain times because there's always a lot of new people subscribing or listening and not subscribing because they're curious, right? And that's their soul talking to them. They don't realize it yet, but they will. One of the biggest things, in my opinion, that people are just they're unaware of yet, even though it's black and white. People, there's nothing new under the sun, people, right? There's nothing new under the sun. And there's an easy way for me to explain this of why people are just unaware of certain things. When you can, I'm sorry guys, 1 second. When you can understand, see, that's another habit right there. I just caught myself. This is the beautiful thing about being metacognitive. Before I go on, we have to change our terminology. In other words, instead of saying sorry, I should have said thank you for your patience while I do this. Before I go on, you have to learn how to stop saying you're sorry all the time. I don't care if it's because you're late. I don't care if it's because something you said you shouldn't have said, or you thought you shouldn't have said, whatever. Stop saying it. Because that is what you're programming into your subconscious mind. And if you're always saying, even in emails, oh, I'm sorry for this, I'm sorry for that, you are programming your shit to basically say you're sorry, you're not worthy, you're always fucking up, right? At the end of the day, I'm being straight up. I don't sugarcoat stuff. So if it offends you, I'm sorry. See, perfect example. Thank you for understanding, right? Talk the walk, right? So even for me, it's a process. In my emails to my clients, CPAs, attorneys, they got bucks, right? At least for the normal person looking at them, they got big bucks. And I had a horrible habit of saying, I'm sorry for this, I'm sorry for that. And throughout this process, you'll learn terminology. Stop saying spending. Say circulate money, right? As odd as it may sound, but as you get used to it, it just changes the game. So anyways, thank you for your patience while I went on tangent as I do a lot. Anyhow, one of the biggest things that I see that nobody talks about is called Hemisync, brain hemisphere synchronization. And I'll post a link. I'll post my personal link of what I personally use out of my collection that I've used. But there's only a couple that I use every morning. To me, it's more important, starting off with that, than gratitude affirmations. And let me explain why. Thank you for understanding of hearing the affirmations and stuff in the background. That's always playing in my place. This living quarters is vibing so high because in every room and every device, whether it's loud, soft, because of what the subconscious mind hears, is playing something because the energy level stays high. If you think of the words as energy, the energy is always around, and like attracts like. So you might want to put a postcard and put that somewhere instead of trying to play the victim story. Oh, have you only heard this? If you only knew the family I have, and if I had this thing, and this one person came in, and I want to tell them, like attracts like. Change your vibration. Change your consciousness. Change your way of thinking. In a nutshell, raise it up, right? It'll all pan out. Anyways, I gotta try to stick to this story. Hemisync, brain hemisphere synchronization there was and I'll post a link down below. This was a study done by the CIA. This is some real stuff, guys. This is no hooey stuff. You don't understand why. And I attribute this as a huge part to why I'm advancing so fast. Because now it's like second nature, right? When I first started my journey, I was how? I don't know. You never have to know how, because God or whatever belief system, energy, source, absolute, omnipresent will find its way and show you who and what have to be in your path. Because everyone's either a teacher or a student. Straight up. Every experience, a teacher or a student. It's all based off your perception. So at the beginning of my journey, I indirectly met a nuclear fusion physicist, that I'm not going to say his name, and he sent me these straight up frequencies. And I was like, what the fuck is a frequency? What? I was totally naive to it, right? But it intrigued me because it was different from my way of believing of the dogma stuff and religion and Catholicism, blah, blah, blah. I'm not hating on it at all, because it all has its place. We all need it as we evolve, right? Or re-experience this part of our evolution, because we are already fully evolved spiritual beings, people. We're born perfect. And if you don't believe me, look into the eyes of a newborn baby. Look straight into the eyes. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you feel. Because your heart will bloom and explode. I don't care what color. I don't care what race. Your heart, like that child, your heart will bloom like a flower. And the reason is because it's a fully evolved spiritual being. We come into this 3D plane with everything we need. The thing is, by the time we're adults, right, we're actually taking away, stripping away all the beliefs and stuff to get back to that point. And when you do, wow, right? So, again, you don't believe me? Go look at a child, baby, firstborn, 1-year-old. Look into the eyes. Tell me what you think and what you feel, and you'll understand what I'm saying. So, this nuclear fusion physicist sends me these frequencies, totally jacked my mind up. I literally lost my memory, because I went balls to the wall, hardcore. I wasn't going to stop because I had a lot that I had to figure out in a very short period of time. And it was brain hemisphere synchronization was a study done by the CIA, and it's called the Gateway Experience. They did it in 1984. And they slowly started to leak the information in 2004, I believe. So you can find videos and people having their own reason for wanting to do it, not realizing it's the key to it all. And what happens is, if you and I are talking on a normal basis, or if you and someone else are talking, right, in a conversation, or just throughout the day, any human being, normally, they're either thinking of with the right side of the brain, which is, I believe, is the creative side, or they're thinking with the left hemisphere side, which is like the intellectual side, the not the executive center, but like the problem solving and analytical side, so to say. When they compared it to saying, in a nutshell, that when a normal human being is walking around like a lighter, right, looking in the dark, or with a lantern, when you do a brain hemisphere synchronization, it's causing both hemispheres to communicate, right? And you have one type of frequency or hertz coming in this here, a different type of frequency hertz coming in here, and in the middle of your brain, it gets the difference, and that is what's being vibrated, right? I personally recommend, I've trained my brain to start off when I get up with a delta hemisync, then I move it to a theta hemisync, then a beta hemisync. I haven't started training for gamma and all that stuff yet, because I'm good on those 3 levels, which is, they say that Einstein was always stuck in a theta, right? Just absorbing everything. That's what children go through. I'll make other videos without going off tangent. So when you start doing this, and I'll leave the link below, my personal link that I've accumulated over the years. Start off with a delta. If you're starting out, do it for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Just get a feel for it. Delta, then do a theta, then do a beta, which is when you're normally talking. Do not do it if you're prone to seizures, guys. I'm not a doctor, you know, any of that stuff. Just consult, I don't know, your physician. I can't even say a physician. Just if you're prone to seizures or have seizures, don't do it, right? You have to stick, for now, to the normal routine of meditation and all that stuff without anything coming in your ears. Again, I do this while I'm talking, being in flow, because when you're doing something that you like or that you don't like, you can't be you can't be thinking of one thing or doing one thing and thinking of a bad thing at the same time. You're always in flow, or you know, you're going. Flow means in the business world is when you're doing something you like so much, you're just in flow. You're not thinking about it. You're just doing it, and time passes so fast. A lot of people, artists, experience it. Musicians experience it. This is my time, whether I'm cooking or driving or washing dishes. I've trained myself that way, right? Because when I first started out, I had monkey brain like an MF, right? Just all over the place, wondering this and that, which means there's a lot of resistance. So this is why I make these videos while I'm cooking for my kids or whatever, right? So again, the Brain Hemisync, very vital to what has helped me to the advancement of my personal journey, and I know it will do yours, and you will notice right off the bat. It's going to seem weird and odd, but when you look at the video, which again, I encourage people, and I'm going to be repetitive about this, when you look at the video, the links of the CIA declassified documents, keep looking at, keep researching, keep looking at other versions of people talking about it, because the more you research, the more you see it, these mirror neurons are going to kick in at that 4-minute mile, right? Meaning you're going to know, regardless of that color, race, vegetarian, meat eater, non-meat eater, whatever. If they can do it, I can do it. But the more information that you saturate your mind, the more it's going to become a belief system. The more it becomes a belief system, that thought, that emotion, when it hits, it's a belief. And when it's a belief, that's when you start seeing things start to happen in a very wild way. Because as Jesus says, as you believe it, so shall it be done unto you. As a man thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. I highly recommend fish oil. Has mega, EPA, and DHA. 1 tablespoon a day. Does wonders for your brain, your body. You only realize what it did for you. So I just had a couple little bullet points, which being the brain synchronization, being the main one. Again, CIA declassified it in 1984. They slowly started to leak it in 2004. A couple of more things, guys. We're already went on 13 minutes. Trying to shorten the refractory period of these videos to help those. You'll find me repeating a lot of the same stuff, guys, because I'm going to pound it in your head. It's the only way to do it, right? If you follow me. If not, you know, c'est la vie. You know, good luck. You'll come back. She'll be back. She'll be back. So, in quantum mechanics, they can prove that there's 2 times of the day that are the best to reprogram your subconscious mind. Those 2 times are before you go to bed and when you wake up. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm the type of person that says, you know, I get it, but there's got to be quicker, faster ways that it can be done. Hit that theta, right? So hitting that theta state of brain is when the veil between the conscious and the subconscious is the thinnest. And ironically, that's the time that we're all getting ready to go to bed, thinking of how jacked up our day went, when we fell from grace, who screwed us over, you know, who would we love to strangle, right? What you know, things like that, right? It's just natural. Then when we wake up, guess what we think about? Same thing. going to work, doing this, who we're going to see, what we're going to do, how we have to pay our bills, the rent, Sancho, Sancha, brother, whatever it may be, right? It's normal way of thinking. Not realizing you are creating and projecting your whole day already. You already know. And there's zero resistance. So when there's zero resistance, your day, you know how your day goes. So instead, that is a time when you can even reprogram your day at the end of the day, because your imagination doesn't know the difference between imagination and real life. This is when you start creating what you really want in life, right? And it takes a little time because you're so hardwired. Don't want to call it hardwired, even though it's not hardwired, but you're so hardwired at thinking of the patterns of thought, which are patterns of energy that are so used to doing the same pattern. They're just real thick that actually crystallize into this reality. Trying not to get too deep. So, what I started to do, and again, you're prone to seizures, do not do this. You stick with your normal routine of day and night, twice a day, until you find otherwise. For the rest of you guys and gals, I discovered, well, hell, I want to do it more than twice a day. So, again, there's nothing new under the sun, guys. Everything's already there in front of us. You just gotta trade something for what you want. You gotta carry your cross to birth your blessing, right? You have to trade something for your blessing. What are you gonna trade? And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about your time. You've got to take the time to research it. Stop thinking it's a land on a silver platter. It will once you get to a certain point, and I'll explain that later either. Because I keep hearing that too. What do I do after my manifestation? How do I know what it? Guys, understand this. Again, I'm repetitive about it. You're fully evolved spiritual beings. Your soul makes every decision and has every thought for you based off your belief. That is your true free will. That is it. In every facet of life. And I raise my voice so you could pay attention, right? No me grites. So, when you understand that, your life goes so much better, because when you know that all you have to do is believe, you just be yourself, because your soul knows what path is best for you to re-experience this part of your evolution, which is all we're doing, guys. That's it. You're already fully evolved. You don't have to create anything, because creation of all infinity is already there, all around us. All you got to do is align yourself to show it, because from your eyes looking out, this is your universe, everything. From my eyes looking out, this is my universe, it's everything, because we're multidimensional beings. That's the secret. People are like, what? Some people will get it, and when they get it, dude, it's a game changer. Because there's no more scarcity, because you understand, it's all yours. This is all mine. You're living in my world, and I'm living in your world. Even if that was a pretend, isn't that still a better belief system than what you currently have right now? Of scarcity and this and that, and there's not enough? Anyways, it's not pretend, it's real. So what I started to do with the theta frequency is I started to listen to the frequency throughout the day. I know they say don't drive with it, don't do this. And I'm not condoning, I'm not saying to go do that. I know me. I know this body, I know one thing. And this one thing here mimics all of life in every pattern of every egg, of every grade of grass, of every embryo, of every tree, of every plant. By knowing this one thing, I know the rest. But you just gotta know this one thing. That's it. So, the theta frequency, I would do it multiple times a day, especially when I was super stressed out. And later on, I'll show you how to put yourself in an alpha mode, like in 30 seconds, by breathing technique and what you do with your eyes. It's just trippy. And I was doing this stuff in the very beginning, not knowing what the hell I was doing, but yet intuitively my soul was doing it for me. So, I would suggest, I would put a link for the theta frequency. I might put a couple. I'm still pondering over that. But, and not, just go on Google, look up the theta frequency, and see what resonates for you. Because what resonates for you today will not resonate for you tomorrow. And vice versa. Remember, guys, all these things you're hearing from these teachers that people want to charge you for, which is great, it's okay. Eventually, at the level that I get people at, I will be charging too. But right now, you're lucky just to be getting it, right? We're not lucky, you're blessed. We're all blessed, right? Because by helping you, I'm helping me, because I know I'm you and I know that you're me. And that's through my experience of oneness. That's of my seventh energy popping. Which wait until I get into that stuff, because I have proof. I have EEGs done. It's gonna blow your mind, because these mirror neurons, again, the 4-minute mile. If you knew me and know what I do for a living and knew my past, you'd be like, "There's no freaking way." 4-minute mile, baby. So you can do that with a theta frequency multiple times a day, before affirmations, after affirmations, before meditation, and all you're doing is you're bringing your waves, you're manipulating, you're using mental alchemy, and you're manipulating those brainwave states to that beta, gamma, which were normally monkey brain going all crazy, into a calm state, just as when we're about to go to bed. And when you manipulate it by listening to a frequency, a theta frequency, with music, without music, everyone's different. It's up to you what resonates with you. So I don't want to place the link. But find one that resonates with you in just 10, 15 minutes, and then go do your affirmations. Go do your meditation. You'll see a dramatic difference. And not only in your screen of space, but while you're in that trance of meditation, because you're so calm. It's just like, wow, dude. You'll know. Let's see, what was the last thing here? Okay. The last thing here, my baby girl's waiting for her breakfast here. My indigo child, you want to come say hi? Or no? Yeah? No? Okay. So she's had some pretty crazy experiences too. And so, the last thing I want to talk about here is understand. Don't understand that whatever your belief system is, whether it's God, whether it's energy, whether it's Muhammad, whether it's Allah, whether it's Daffy Duck, or whether it's Scooby-Doo, I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever your belief system is, this higher power, absolute, the energy, whatnot, understand this. Let's call it spirit. How about that? It is everything and everyone, including your thoughts, including your soul. It is 100% in control of everything, because that intelligence, that God, that whatever you want to call it, will have its will. Its will shall be done, and it's being done now. Point being is, so don't feel guilty about, I wish I knew this before, this, that. If you just understood, and I'll explain later videos, it'll blow your mind. If you could understand its true power of how, when you have a thought and you move your hand, something is moving your hand. It's you, but it's not you. What's behind the you that's doing that? Think about that, right? I'm being repetitive with stuff you guys should already know. But anyhow, that intelligence will decide when you hit that play button, when you hit that video. It decides it all. It decides, even when you're looking at it and you'll understand it, it decides when to say, hey, I'm taking the blindfold off, so it really penetrates to you, and it says, hey, you're not ready. It puts the blindfold on because you still have to learn a lesson that you haven't, experienced or learned or whatever. It'll bring you back, other experiences even harder to understand it. This is what you got to learn. So anyways, I hope this video has helped some people. It's a little longer. We're going on 23 minutes and 30 seconds. It took a little longer than expected. But if you can just take segments of it, write it down, use your own perception of what you learned from it. Because remember, there's an infinite number of realities, which means there's an infinite number of ways to do this. It is all techniques. You will find from different teachers, just as I have, you're able to take this away, take that away, and take this away. What I'm doing is I'm bringing it all together to be able to explain it the way I know how. Right? That's worked for me. May not work for you, but I promise you, you can take away some key elements here, apply it to your own life, to your own reality, and watch what happens. All right? So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video, and appreciate for all the new subscribers. I will be showing you the material stuff soon of what I've been able to manifest. That way, your those mirror neurons, right? I've been waiting for that. And show you who I really am. That way you can really say, this guy knows what the hell's going on, which is true. So, but in helping you, I help me, we help the world. Anything you do, We're never, anything you do helps the collective, because they're your brothers, they're your sisters, they're you. They're just you pushed out, right? So love, light, and peace. Thank you, and God bless.